The trip is truly underway now, and the reality is setting in. We are heading south, on our way down the coast of Croatia. This week we set course for Krka, a national park known for its stunning waterfalls. What many people don't know is that Krka National Park can be reached by sailboat by navigating the breathtaking fjord to the gateway city of Skradin. Along the way, we deal with our ongoing electrical issues and a stuck anchor, but still manage to find a bit of time to explore the charming seaside village of Tribunj and the medieval port city of Šibenik. So we woke up to a bit of a disappointment this morning. It was super windy all night, to the fact that it was keeping us a little bit awake with our wind generator, and we expected to have heaps of power when we woke up, but alas, everything's still dead. So Eddie is doing a little bit of investigation to see why our wind generator is not actually generating any power. So this morning instead of working, we spent the morning trying to figure out our next problem, which is our wind generator is not hooked up. So we're headed into the nearest town to see if we can sort that out. Eddie rode into the small town of Tribunj to find some bits and pieces for our solar, but unfortunately returned empty-handed. So we're headed into town, and if you can't see yet, but there's something playing in the water just off Eddie's shoulder. So we're gonna check it out. So as we've gotten closer, it has come to my attention that the creature swimming near the shore is in fact a human.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was a dolphin or a seal. They have seals up here? Probably not, but so Eddie struck out yesterday trying to find the bits and pieces for our solar setup. So he's headed back into town, go to the next town over, see if he can find what we need. So wish him luck.
So electrical woes continue. We knew we had problems keeping the house batteries filled up, but somehow we've also managed to drain our starter battery. So we can't start our engine now. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow we get enough sun in the panels that we can start the engine and motor into a marina and try to find somewhere that has the necessary components to fix our solar system. But it's a bit distressing. How'd you sleep?
Poorly. I woke up every morning, every night, every hour on the hour for every hour that passed last night, worrying about whether I was still connected to the anchor and listening out for wind, which did come at some point around 2 a.m. I would know I was up. But hopefully a little bit of coffee will solve all my problems.
So good news, the sun has charged up the solar panel enough to start the battery, and we're going to be able to motor into a marina. Huge relief, and yeah, we're just going to have to go and sort this out today because it's a little bit stressful living like this. Looks like our anchor is stuck on a rock.
Does that matter?
To the way, straight back.
to finally free our anchor, we sail from Tribunj toward Šibenik. Passing the remnants of St. Nicholas Fortress, we enter the mouth of the Krka River. As the river winds, we sail past small swimming holes with hidden caves before catching a glimpse of the ancient Šibenik perched on the hill.
Yes, we made it back to the marina safe and sound, thank the Lord.
Device is charging.
Devices are all charging, and I'm feeling a bit relieved, to be honest.
Worth the price of being here?
Worth the price of being in the marina.
We got the opportunity to get out and explore the city of Šibenik, one of the most well-preserved medieval towns in Croatia, famous for the 4 fortresses that stand guard and protect the historic town center.
Look out here, you can see the sound that we came up today and where we'll get to sail tomorrow. Right up to the national park. Okay, so today is the day we're finally going to hopefully hook up some extra solar power to our system. We don't exactly know what we're doing, but we will give it a go ourselves. Okay, so everything's wired up now. It's not looking very pretty, but we've put everything together. We've run the solar through the boat, into a charge controller, through a breaker switch, and then from the charge controller into the batteries through a fuse. So now we need to check that it's going to do something. So let's plug this in and see if it charges our batteries. First thing, make sure you get your positive and negative wiring correct.
Round 2.
Okay. Negative wire. And we'll see that makes some difference. And hopefully this doesn't explode and we see some lights. I can't see any lights, so that's bad. No lights on. And no extra volts, so that's disappointing.
Making holes?
Making holes because we got the solar wired up. The end of the story was we couldn't quite get it on our own. We put some calls into our friends. Thank you, Pietra, for answering the call. Bucko, still waiting on a call back. And some friendly guys from the marina who were working on some bigger boats popped in with some gear and gave us some pointers and some gear. So we've wired up this bigger panel. Now we're just going to swap it out for the old one.
Eddie is putting up our new solar panel. It's got a little bit more wattage than the other one, but it's the biggest one that'll fit that space. And yeah.
So finally, well, I hope finally, we've sorted out all of our solar problems and we're going to have enough power to stay off the grid for a bit. And we're leaving the medieval town of Šibenik, which is a stunning port city up on a hill. It's absolutely beautiful. But now we're headed up the Krka River and we're going to go to Krka National Park, where there's supposedly some really amazing waterfalls. So a bit of outdoorsy things. So we're still sailing up the Krka River, and right before you get to the bridge, heading north, there's a small little shack that serves fresh mussels and oysters. So we just picked up a kilo of mussels, which we're going to cook tonight for dinner, and 12 freshly chefed oysters, which we're going to have right now on the road.
Trying out some Croatian beer.
Yeah, we're trying out the blonde ale, and it is absolutely delicious. It says it's, I can speak Croatian, but it says it's unfiltered and not pasteurized and fermented with...
Oh yeah.
Yep, that's all I know. It's fermented, but I don't know what it's fermented with. How do you make beer? What do you ferment beer with?
What's for dinner?
So tonight we're having fresh mussels that we picked up on the way into the Krka National Park, and we've cooked them with white wine, a little bit of garlic and parsley, and with some bread.
Alright?
Yeah, pretty good. Very good, in fact.
Last night we spent the night in the sound that connects Šibenik with Skradin, which is the gateway to the Krka National Park. Today we're going to continue sailing north towards the entrance. But we're first going to go out because it's got a little bit of wind today. We're going to practice some of our sailing to get the sails up. We made it to where we're going to stay for the night. We're at a small canoe on the Krka River, and people can come here with your sailboat, camp for the night, have dinner at the canoe, and your mooring is free. They've got electricity, and it's a great stopping point if you don't want to go into Skradin to see the Krka National Park.
Whatever you want.
Stop it.
So we've arrived in Skradin, which is the entrance to the Krka National Park. We've elected to walk into the national park rather than take the boat. It's supposed to be a nice walk.
Hear the birds chirping in the background.
Oh, you can buy your glass, okay.
We just got back to the town of Skradin after visiting the national park, and we popped into this place called the Wine Garden, where you can do some tastings of local wine, white and red, and then come out into the garden and have a lovely afternoon drink of wine.